Matt Kenseth back at Roush? Well, that is what the rumor mill is saying right now, and as of recording this video, it's unconfirmed, but Matt Kenseth is supposedly going to take over the Advocare Roush-Fenway Racing number 6 for a select number of races for the rest of the year. He's not fully taking over for Trevor Bayne, but it's certainly looking like the longer things go on that Trevor Bayne is on the outs at Roush-Fenway Racing. And as you can see, today we are going to not necessarily celebrate Trevor Bayne possibly losing his job, but we are going to celebrate the return of a NASCAR champion and one of the drivers that has gained a lot of popularity in recent years, Matt Kenseth. As you can see, I've done a bit of a tribute paint scheme with a Roush number, the number 99 Advocare car for Roush-Fenway Racing, obviously a Ford Fusion, and it's in the DeWalt colors. Now, of course, he ran these last year, so it's not that special of a throwback scheme, but it would still be kind of cool if and when Matt Kenseth comes back, he runs something similar to that. So what we've got on the plate today is a 50% race at the Talladega Superspeedway. I know the 2018 update 50% Daytona 500 got an incredible viewership. People really seem to love that video, so we're going to do that once again for another of the big plate races, this time the spring Talladega race, the Geico 500. So let's not waste your time any longer. Let's get racing for 94 laps, 3-stage, 50% race here at the Talladega Superspeedway. All right, heading down for the start here at Talladega Superspeedway, starting at the back as Matt Kenseth in the Roush-Fenway number 99. So I took a little bit of advice from my good pal, What If Racing. I almost called him Winval. Winval is also my pal, but he's not the person who clued me into this. Apparently, auto hard difficulty is slightly more difficult than the standard 105. So I kind of wanted to test that out in this race today to see if that is the truth, because it could make for some very interesting racing if we have a really tough grid here, and it looks like they're definitely not leaning over for me here at the moment. Usually I would be up a few positions at least on the start, but we're running well over 200 miles an hour and not really making up that much ground as we head behind William Byron. Get a bit loose, actually, lifting off in the middle of the tri-oval there. So let's get a draft off of William Byron underneath the 46 of Todd Gilliland. Obviously, a lot of fantasy, well, not fantasy drivers, but K&N drivers in here to fill out the field, which is why I kind of suggested that, oh, NASCAR Heat 3 needs the K&N series. Oh, because they've already got the licensing. Wow, the young bucks are giving the seasoned veteran here a little bit of a run for his money, as I almost got into Todd Gilliland there, diving to the inside of Harrison Burton, almost on the yellow line there. That was very close, but getting a nice run behind William Byron. And we're going to try to take the kid to school here. Getting a side draft off of Carl Long, a little bit more of a side draft, dive it down, almost on the apron again. Don't want to be doing that too much. That's a little bit of a bad idea. Pushing up the track just a little bit. Seems like the car not quite handling the way I would like it to. Tommy Jeske, if you've watched the career mode, you know my history with him, and it's not very good. But I'm Matt Kenseth in this race. I'm not David Land. What am I talking about? Driving down 207, 208 miles an hour. I think we may see 210 before the end of this race, depending on the run and the fuel load and the all of those factors combined, and how long we can stay on the throttle without having to lift off in the draft. Yeah, this is incredibly fast right now. So yeah, it does feel like auto hard difficulty is a bit harder. So I may have to switch the career mode to auto hard instead of just regular 105 difficulty. As we go 3 wide underneath William Byron and Kamikaze Games favorite Ty Dillon. There we go. I got 3 shout-outs already in, and we're not even 5 laps into this race. As I'm getting in behind DJ Kennington. Get a nice draft behind DJ here. And a Canadian driver. Going to go to the inside. We're going to give him a bit of a shove since we don't have to worry about rivals here. 208, not quite to 209. Had to kind of back out of the throttle a little bit. Was kind of worried I was going to push him in too fast there. Didn't want to lose really any momentum by pushing him into Denny Hamlin and then having everybody slow up. As Kennington looks down to the inside, all the way to the inside is Michael McDowell in the 34 car. Oh, a little bit of contact between myself and DJ Kennington still. Going to just continue to shove him all the way down the main straightaway here at Talladega. And now down almost to the inside of DJ Kennington. Inside lane, of course, always usually the best course of action here, but sometimes it isn't. It seems like we're making some progress. Obviously, we're 10 positions up from where we started, so I would imagine that was a pretty decent start. 209, not quite going to be able to get to the magic 210. I actually had to get underneath the yellow line there on the entry just to avoid dive bombing Hamlin for absolutely no reason. That would have been a bit of a stupid move, and we're a veteran. We're a NASCAR champion. Oh, and we're going to not drive like one right now. Ironically enough, I haven't seen Trevor Bayne yet, so he may be running right at the front. That would be funny. That would be also painfully ironic if we can get around him. Because again, the back end very loose. Kind of surprising how loose it is here at Talladega Superspeedway. Generally, you wouldn't think that handling would be a big factor on these plate tracks, especially after they've repaved them fairly recently. I think Talladega's actually got older pavement than Daytona though these days, so you know, I guess it makes sense to a certain extent. Daniel Suarez moving to the outside, now falling back just a little bit, going to lift off the gas a little bit behind Hamlin. Not quite run directly in his draft, going to try to get him behind him here. Oh yeah, look at that. The Red Sea parts for just a second, and then McDowell closes the door on Hamlin, and that didn't help me out too much. Had to kind of bail out of it. Still going to be a 206 going into turn one, so certainly not going slow by any stretch of the imagination, but with the amount of speed that we had earlier, and certainly down the back straightaway, it seems much faster than the tri-oval, obviously, because the tri-oval is a corner, and you scrub a little bit of speed through there, even if it's only a mile an hour at a track like this, at well over 200 miles an hour, most of the lap is a pretty, still a pretty big difference, I guess you could say. And any little bit of friction, especially when you get close to 200 miles an hour, certainly affects the speed that your car will have. Oh, we're going to go 3 wide in the tri-oval because that opened up. And thankfully, Hamlin and McDowell were nice and kind enough to let me go to the inside. 20 laps to go in stage one. Still got a long, long way to go. A little bit loose again underneath Casey Kane and Eric Almirola getting the focus on Smithfield up top. He's falling back big time. Now getting in behind Brendan Gaughan, who's running pretty well, but then again, he ran well in the Daytona 500 in real life, so that shouldn't really surprise me. Getting a nice run behind Bowman. No, I won't use that horrible nickname Mike Joy gave him. Diving, absolutely giving him a huge shove into turn 3. Didn't really help me all that much. And so we've cracked the top half of the field, finally. As we're going to give a little bit more young blood, a little bit of a shock trying to pass him in the tri-oval 3 wide. Not going to happen. Bowman and Dillon, the two drivers, essentially to take over for 2 famous Earnhardts, in a way. And I'm going to try to get underneath Bowman. Can't quite do it. Oh, maybe. 3 wide with the 3 car. And the 3 car's former son's drive. What? That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, the car that the 3 car's son drove. That makes 0 sense. But anyway, field's starting to pack up a little bit more. Interesting to see. It kind of looked like it was kind of going to 1 lane there. Now it's back to 2x2 action through the front half of the field. Interesting how that works out. Again, the field just absolutely running just an absolutely unbelievable pace right now. Very, very fast. 206 miles an hour easy going into turn 1. Not really got a place to go underneath Bubba Wallace. We'll fall back for now. 11 laps to go on the fuel. Going to have to pit before the end of the stage. That's not really a surprise. That's how these Cup races always seem to go. And diving up underneath Bubba Wallace. Going to go 3 wide with Jamie McFlurry and Bubba Wallace. And that's Kurt Busch moving down in front of me. Going to help me out down the back straightaway, but is it going to get me to 210 miles an hour? No, it's not, but it doesn't matter. Going to get a couple positions. Drive underneath a couple of Camaros. Of course, the hot ticket item car to have on these plate tracks, it seems in the modern era, I should say, is the Ford Fusion. which kind of begs the question as to why Ford has decided to move away from this body style for next year, but I digress. Going underneath Kurt Busch, going to get another position right here, and there's my teammate Stenhouse. Still have not seen Trevor Bayne. Either I passed him early on, or he's running about second right now. Whoops, gave Jimmy the juggernaut trouble up front. Trouble up front. It was Trevor Bayne running second, but not anymore because Kyle Busch just had an engine failure or something go wrong, and thankfully I caught it early and I got around, and now we're running in the top pack here. A nice 5-car breakaway, aided by that failure by Kyle Busch. Now, whether or not he stacks the field up, they pile up behind him, and there's trouble, and possibly a yellow flag is going to be a question as I go around my teammate Stenhouse. Logano looking to the inside, trying to, I guess this is a lot of Ford machinery up here, along with Ryan Newman, who we battled for the win at Daytona in that 50% race. And actually fall back a little bit because I kind of got loose in the middle of 1 and 2. Definitely going to be a fast pace now, especially because we're not in traffic and it's really just a 5-car line. I think we're going to be able to break away from the rest of the field fairly easily. Trevor Bayne, it's actually running 6th now, so it's Roush 4th, 5th, and 6th on the track, but Stenhouse has somehow lost the draft off of this pack, so now it's a 4-car breakaway at the front, 2 Penske's and a Childress car. There's Logano, going to give him a shove, try to get him behind Numa. Not going to quite work. Out of the pits comes Kyle Busch. So not a long holdup for Kyle Busch. For whatever reason, I guess maybe he had a tire failure. That's certainly a possibility. And it looks like Stenhouse is actually starting to work his way back up into this pack a little bit. 0.3 of a second. So I guess he wasn't really able to lose the draft very much there. And here come the Penske's down to the inside. I guess we're going to be a Ford quartet here and hang that Camaro out to dry. There's really nothing Newman's going to be able to do about this as I go 208 miles an hour and definitely got a push. That was a push that time. That wasn't a loose condition. And just boxed the old Camaro out. Oh, and pit stops for the leaders. Into the lead goes Matt Kenseth. Crowd goes wild. Numa going to come up behind me. These are the 2 drivers that battled for the 2003 championship. I guess some people would say, and I would definitely never ever say this, that Matt Kenseth was the last real champion of NASCAR, but he battled Ryan Newman for this for the last points title, official points title anyway. I guess you could say that Truex won the points and the chase last year, but you know. So strategy. This is going to be interesting because I don't know. I guess as I come around, there's going to be lap cars that I will hopefully be able to draft with until I need to come into the pits. Hopefully Numa doesn't come into the pits this time, but I suspect he will. And yeah, there he goes. So we'll see what the pace is like. The crowd cheers again. Not really sure why. I was in the lead to begin with. And yeah, some lap cars are going to come out with me out of the pits. So that means I'll be able to maintain my speed, at least for now, with some drafting help from at least somebody. We're at 195 here, and of course with the restrictor plates in the cars, it's going to allow me to, close up on these guys fairly quickly. This looks like Kyle Larson, and indeed it is, as the name would indicate on the car, above the car there. Getting a nice run behind Larson. And when will we need to pit? 6 laps from now. So just going to use the draft off of Larson to continue to pull my car around. Hopefully we'll be able to hook up with this pack in front. Looks like the Penske's have come out of the pits pretty much all in lockstep, to use a Marty Reed term. And that includes one of the Spotter Nightmare cars. Not sure if it's Menard or if it's Blaney, but regardless, those are both Penske affiliated entries, so they are also in this kind of front group as it kind of all reforms here. And Kyle Larson's actually been able to pull away a little bit in the traffic. So I guess we'll work with McDowell, a Ford teammate, or I guess a Ford stablemate, I guess you could say. Not quite a teammate, though. Front Row Motorsports, I believe, has some affiliation with Roush, one way or the other. I know when Buescher made the chase, Roush provided some, at least engineering support, possibly an entire car for them to use in the chase. They still didn't get very far because I don't think Roush equipment is all that great anyway. I guess we'll find out when Matt Kenseth gets in the car, shall we? Eventually. As we got Truex working behind me. 11 laps to go on the stage. The fuel is at 4 laps, so probably within the next 2-3 laps we'll be coming into the pits, depending on what the mileage is. Oh, crash, crash, crash. Car in the wall. Car in the wall. It's Stenhouse. That was weird. That was very weird. The fact that a car was spun around like that on a plate track, that was strange. That was very strange. I don't even need repairs. Let's add some wedge. A little bit of wedge. A little bit of tape as well. Just kind of balance it out a little bit more. I think everything else is pretty good. And, yeah, 10 cars on the lead lap. That's how that stage strategy goes, I guess. And we're not even done with the first stage. So a 10-car run here at the front of the field, though. This pack gets a bit crazy. I suspect some guys who are laps down at the moment will be back up into the fray. And it's 3 wide for the lead, 3 lanes of traffic, but the top lane did not get going. We're giving Blaney a huge shove, who's got Chase Elliott just ahead of him. So, again, a lot of young blood, and those guys who drive very, very crazy on the plate tracks. Of course, they got a little too crazy, both of them at Daytona, and piled up the field for various reasons. Not sure if you can necessarily blame Blaney. God almighty, that's easy to say. Or really Chase Elliott for that matter, but anyway. We got a lot of lap cars, and not really lap cars, but McFlurry, I guess you could say he is a lap car because he's a lap down, but he's running in 11th position. And on track, he's running about 6th. And he's trying to get his lap back. So this is going to get wild here with all these fast cars on different strategies already, different fuel allocations because of when the car stopped. And the bottom lane absolutely wrecking chop right now. Stenhouse, despite wrecking, coming out of turn 2 and spinning down the back straightaway. He's running 4th right now. So we got a Roush teammate up here. 209, 210. Can we get it? Can we get it? Boy, I wanted to see 210 on the tack there, but it didn't quite. I guess it's the speedo if I'm looking. I guess tack and speedo. If it was the tack, I'd be looking for an RPM number, but yeah. I guess 9,500 for 210. I know, let's see. When we get to 210. A lot of Fords up front. Once again, all the Fords running at the front. Now, we don't have good enough run to get 210. I suspect on one of the late race restarts, because you know that's going to happen. It always seems to happen at the plate tracks, even in NASCAR Heat 2. I suspect we are going to have low fuel loads, very, very hard racing, and that's going to lead to a 210-mile-an-hour speed. As I don't really play very nice with Stenhouse there. Kind of worked him up the track a little bit. Sorry, Stenhouse. I guess we'll talk about it in the team meeting later. And now it's McDowell trying to chase down Brad Keselowski. Got McFlurry run behind me, and then I run on the apron. That would have been a tragedy. Still 5 laps to go. Oh goodness gracious! Gonna be a long video, folks. Gonna be such a long video. Get your popcorn ready if you've made it this far already. Got McFlurry working behind me. McDowell, we're gonna actually push to the front as guidance counsel Brad, as I call him in the career mode, falls back. Trying to dive to the inside of McDowell, can't quite get to him. Getting the run behind him. Again, McFlurry not on the lead lap, but certainly trying to get there before the end of the stage. If he gets out in front of the 2 cars here, he'll be back on the lead lap without having to use a lucky dog. And that would be great for his strategy. 4 laps to go in stage 1. Trying to get to the inside of McDowell. Not quite happening yet. Oops. Pushed in the middle of the corner. That was a mistake. That cost me a position on track, and that was costing me a lot more. As Chase Elliott will move to the inside, so I go down 3rd or 4th. 4 cars in front. McFlurry actually going to go drive back and get his lap back. And that was trying to get in a lane that was not there. And Keselowski almost made me pay for it. So Bowman is now, I believe, in the Lucky Dog transfer spot. So right now we've got 12 cars effectively on the lead lap, with McFlurry leading the pack, Numa leading the race outright. And now everybody's working single file in a line. I'd be interested to see. Bowman needs McFlurry to stay on the lead lap, otherwise there's going to be some trouble for him because he's not in the Lucky Dog transfer spot anymore at this point. As I dive it off underneath Bowman. And now it's Newman leading the pack and the race. McFlurry falls back into the clutches of Bowman, so Bowman may get that Lucky Dog, and indeed he will, the inside. So good on Bowman. Third place past Keselowski. Chase Elliott going to the inside with 2 laps to go on the stage. What don't you like about stage racing? We're about to see. And I don't like it because I just got hung out to dry by Brad Keselowski. And can I get in front of the lap car of Bowman? Yes, I can. So we'll get another shot at it. We need to see if we can get to the lead in 1 lap. That is going to be a key. So I need to kind of strategize the rest of the race based on this stage ending and the next stage ending. To see what the battle is going to be like on the last lap. So I'm going to try to get to the front as quickly as possible. I don't really want a battle to the win. This is almost an exact copy of the Daytona race with Numa at the front once again, but this time it's for a stage, not for an overall win. So let's see what I can get. 2 positions to go here. But Chase is looking to the inside. Dive up the outside. That is probably not a good idea. And the car drags a little bit. Had to dive back in. So it's got to be on the straightaway where I make a move. If I can get to the inside of somebody, that's going to have to be where I can get it. So yeah, did not get a good run there. Bowman going to give me a shove here. So Bowman's trying to get back on the lead lap by himself, legitimately, without the Lucky Dog. We'll see if that works out for him. Diving to the inside of Elliott. Going to get second. Let's see if we can get first. Going to need some help from behind, I think. And running side by side with Elliott is not going to help all that much. Bowman backed out of it behind Elliott. And nothing for Newman. Newman's going to drive away, sail away to this stage victory. We'll get second. Bowman will be the Lucky Dog. And, yeah, that was fairly interesting. So what I'm going to do here to kind of stay with the pack, since I've still got 12 laps remaining, it seemed like that was right about where the AI needed to pit. So I think to kind of stay on the strategy with everybody else, that's what I'm going to do too. I'm going to stay out because Michael McDowell isn't coming in, or no, Stenhouse isn't coming in either. So we can have a Roush 1-2 here at the front, which, you know, the cat in the hat will like, I suppose. So let's try to please him. And here we go. Back to racing. So it's a Roush 1-2 with 24 laps to go on the stage, 12 laps on fuel. Stenhouse will actually get down behind me. I actually lifted off the gas to try not to drive away from him too much because we don't want to have the pack kind of break up here. We want to keep this Roush 1-2 going as best we can here before the green flag pit stop will have to occur a little bit earlier for myself and Stenhouse. I suspect Stenhouse will probably come in way earlier than me with his current mileage, but then again, you never know. As Blaney going to look to the outside. Blaney got a big run with the Spotter's Nightmare behind him, Paul Menard. So the 2 Menards cars have hooked up on top. And no, that's not the 2 Menards cars. That is Michael McDowell. A little bit of confusion with the red and yellow cars, though the fluorescent yellow I should have mistaken. So that's interesting. So if I'm leading on the on the last restart, I could possibly get past before the lines. I need to block 2 lanes of traffic. It's going to be about blocking. I should have tried to block there instead of kind of accepting my fate falling back. Trying to protect Stenhouse a little bit. That wasn't the best idea. I guess we'll go with McDowell again because he's, I guess, an affiliated car, despite the fact that, whoops, we gave Elliott a bit of a shove there. So not quite 210 again. Whoa, Blaney got a dive to the inside. Couldn't quite get in that hole. And we've got Elliott on the outside. Here comes Stenhouse behind. So could we get some Fords lined up down here to get Elliott out of this situation? Looks like that's what we're going to do. Bye, Chase. You chose the wrong badge on your car dude, except for the fact that Keselowski's helping him out up front, or up top. I guess he has no choice because Newman is down to the inside. Newman's had the best car this entire race so far. Down behind Blaney and McDowell. We're the top three, and we're absolutely starting to really pull away. 205 miles an hour, 206 with a bump draft into turn 3. Not like NASCAR 15 where we could theoretically turn Blaney. Thankfully, the physics engine doesn't quite work that way. Got Stenhouse in behind me. Got some cars diving to the inside, possibly coming into the pits. That looked weird. Just looked in my mirror, and that was a bit strange. And of course, we've got three yellow cars leading the race. I also realized that little interesting nugget of information with 9 laps on fuel. That'll put me right about halfway through the stage, so that's going to be fairly interesting. Tire wear should not really be an issue, but if I'm going to take 2 cans of fuel, might as well take right sides when we come into the pits. I don't really want to try to strategize for a stage win. That's kind of a bit counterintuitive, especially when we're not racing for points, which we wouldn't be if we were Matt Kenseth anyway, even though I guess technically if he gets a win, right, within the first couple of races, he could theoretically, they could put him in the car, get into the top 30 in points, and then go for a championship under the current rules for NASCAR and championships. As we've got cars coming out of the pits, Bowman, one of them, looks like Casey Kane may be the other one. So I don't know what strategy they were running, especially considering that Bowman, I believe, was on the lead lap because of the lucky dog. So why he didn't pit under the yellow is news to me. And Kane is actually running 40th, so Kane actually must have had some sort of an issue mechanically because oh no. Whoops. Oh god. Oh no, the dominant car all day spins down the back straightaway or into the tri-oval. Ryan Newman saved it just barely. Holy smokes. That was and Kyle Busch is actually going to get the lucky dog here. Oh my. That was interesting. That was almost very big implications. But Kyle Busch is going to have to work his way all the way from the back. Obviously I came into the pit, so no green flag pit stop in this stage. And you got to wonder why everybody else didn't come in, because you could theoretically think they could make it from here, but it looks like, whoops, I almost got turned by Stenhouse. It would just be me and Stenhouse that can make it to the end of the stage, but everybody's getting slowed up here. I guess the front two are trying to form the pack up, kind of what I was doing earlier, trying to not get too big of a lead. I guess that's smart strategy from the AI. That's kind of a cool programmable thing. I guess if that's indeed what they did, is we got Larson looking for the lead, so Senpai going to try to go around the outside. We got Keselowski pushing Larson, and now gives him the bye-bye, and dives to the inside of him. The Penske's are all up here, no real surprise there, and here comes, oh, where did he come from? Martin Truex Jr. Actually, that's Harvick, who's owed where did he come from, but regardless, we're going to give Logano a shove. The crowd boos. Actually, if we're Matt Kenseth, this is, I should not be helping Logano. In fact, I should be turning him in front of the field right now. But yeah, let's let bygones be good bygones, at least for now. We already almost killed the fastest car in the race, so yeah, we'll just dump him. That's fine. Oh, but it looks like, and Larson moves down, so Larson is going to be on the bottom lane going into turn 3. Only 206. Kind of surprising the speed is starting to fall off throughout the race. As Keselowski goes to the lead, and now it's Larson kind of flying the flag for Chevy up front with the incident involving myself and McDowell. It was a bit of a risky move. With the incident involving myself and Numa kind of took him out of the race, at least for now. I suspect he'll probably be in contention later on. Of course, the other guy we got to look out for is Kyle Busch, who had trouble earlier, but now is back on the lead lap, though he's back in the back. So it'll take him a little while to get up through the field. It's kind of funny. We've got a lot of cars on the lead lap that actually had adversities earlier in the race. Kyle Busch, of course, had that tire failure early on. Me had the wreck with Newman. We're both on the lead lap. Stenhouse clobbered the wall off of turn 2 early on in the race. He's still in this thing. So, a lot of things still to play for here, and a lot of cars that have suffered adversity early on having good days right now at Talladega. So how close are we at the end of the stage? 13 to go. Diving in behind McDowell. Can't quite get a run on him yet. Cars, you can kind of see it dancing around a little bit. It's not particularly the most stable car, which is kind of interesting. The Talladega isn't quite a track where you can have a nice stable car. As I got a really good run on Keselowski. Is this going to be 210? Going into turn 3, no, 208. So again, still just not seeing that magic number. No magic number yet. McDowell kind of worked him up the track a little bit cheeky. Not exactly an intentional move, but regardless. And another big run behind Keselowski this time. Might be even a 209 coming into turn 1. Now 205, 6, 7, 3 for the briefest of moments. That was interesting. It felt like the controller just lost the draft randomly there. That was weird. Oh, side by side with McDowell, trying to side draft the absolute crap out of him. In behind guidance counselor Brad. Yes, nice run. Kind of side drafted McDowell quite nicely, I must say. Now it's going to be a battle with Keselowski, and can I get to him before the end of the stage? And is this stage going to end with more cars coming into the pits? Possible. I could be on a lap of my own, or at least close to it. We'll see how it all works out. There's going to be a huge draft off of Keselowski with 11 laps to go in the stage. Work him to the outside. He dives in front of me. And I just can't quite get around him. I'm gonna need some momentum. And I'm gonna back off a little bit. Try to let Larson catch me up here. Use a little bit of plate racing strategy, kind of the real life plate racing strategy, where you let a guy get out in front, and then you pull down in front of a fast guy like Daniel Suarez, and you get a nice run on Keselowski. This might be our 210 mile an hour thing right here. Unless, of course, Larson decides, hey, you know what, I'm going to pass you anyway. So we get a good run here. I'm going to have to increase 20 miles an hour to get to 210. Oh, this is a heck of a run. I'm not going to quite get to him, so I'm going to back off. And here comes McDowell to the outside. Uh-oh. That's going to be 4 wide. Oh, boy. Yep, that big one. Spin. Made it. No, I didn't. No. Ay, ay, ay. Yep, 4 wide into 3. Did not work all that well. Daniel Suarez is going to get the lucky dog. Everybody's coming into the pits once again, and I'll have to do the same because of the damage done to my Advocare Ford Fusion. What happened to that whole Trevor Bayne being fired for not really performing all that well? Bowman still hasn't been able to get back on the lead lap after that bad strategy call. I'll tell you what, Stenhouse is in the lead. And then I forgot to shift, or just didn't shift very well on the restart. Didn't give Kyle Busch a lot of advantage to get going here. So sorry to Kyle. 12 cars on the lead lap. And how many laps to go on the stage? I have 20 laps in the fuel tank, but that doesn't mean a whole lot. That would look like 6 to go. Yeah, 6 laps to go in the stage. And then we've got an entire stage to go. And got Blaney getting in behind me. 4 wide once again. We saw the effects of this earlier in the race. It's Bowman absolutely trying to get back on the lead lap. He is going for it. Brendan Gaughan up here making a big move on the outside. All these guys really racing hard here towards the end of the stage. Everybody got fresh tires, full load of fuel, and a lot of confidence apparently. DJ Kennington up here looking for a lap back as well. I really shouldn't have blocked him, but look at the intensity. Look at the intensity. They've really anteed it up. And Bowman's still going for that lead lap position. If he were to get it, that would also put Gaughan back on the lead lap and give us 14 cars in the lead lap at least. So that could be quite interesting. And Bowman is absolutely going for it. The speed is unbelievable right now. The pace is absolutely picked up. 207 miles an hour, 208. Didn't quite have a run for 210. Oh, look at, I bet you Chase Elliott was going about 210 though, as I had to back out there. He dove it up the inside. Absolutely sent it down there. And that dive bomb move paid off for Chase Elliott. I saw it coming, but there was nothing I could do to react to it. That is for sure. Look at the pack pull away just a little bit. Just a little bit. Now this is going to be interesting. This could be the 210 right here. If I can maintain 200 miles an hour out of turn 2, it's going to be at 198, so I need to increase the speed 12 miles an hour down the back straightaway. Can it be done? Can we get 210 miles an hour out of a modern-day stock car at Talladega? No, not quite the run I needed that time to do it. Chase Elliott holding on there in front. And that is, no, Bowman is falling back. I saw blue and white cars up there, and I realized that I passed Bowman. Actually, going into the Lucky Duck spot is Brendan Gaughan. So Gaughan, using that inside lane, has moved up into a transfer spot with 4 laps to go. 8th position for Truex. Oh, sliding, almost up into Truex. Got to be so careful. Nice big run down the back straightaway. Everybody jockeying for position. I'm stymied right now. I really can't get moving. Stenhouse still holding the fort down in the front for Roush, so I guess Kenseth's the strategy advice. Well, then again, Stenhouse is always good at Talladega, so never mind. It has nothing to do with Kenseth being on the team. It's all about Stenhouse being good at Talladega. Ironically enough, I haven't seen Trevor Bayne at the front since the Kyle Busch incident. So a bit of a shame for Trevor. Not exactly what he wanted to see. This car running up front in the majority of the race. Or at least the car that he was in. And he really doesn't have a leg to stand on. He's got a really good run down the inside. Get in behind Michael McDowell. I'm looking at the speedo. Don't think it's going to quite get to 210. I'd be absolutely shocked if I do, yeah. It's almost like you need a push from behind and you need a huge run to get to 210. It might not even be possible. I don't know. Be interesting to see. Actually, was able to maintain 199 out of turns 3 and 4, directly behind Keselowski. And again, Chase Elliott up here, along with the Penske's. So as the race kind of progresses, it seems like the Penske's and Chase Elliott have kind of morphed into the guys to beat. Haven't really seen a lot of Newman, even though he is back there. He's 2 cars back. So Newman's not out of this fight either. And down the back straightaway, 3 cars out in front. 204, 205. Not quite able to get anything going. Still 15 laps on the fuel. And we're coming to the last lap of the stage. It'll be the white flag in the stage. So Stenhouse is absolutely moving for it. So is Elliott. So is Logano. So is Keselowski. Car coming out of the pits. That could LePage the field. That may be interesting. That may be my chance to win this stage. Let's get out of the inside of Keselowski. Whoa, gotta absolutely really go for it here. Gotta treat it like the last lap of the race because this is my last kind of test session to try to get to the front. Still got 3 cars out in front of me. Making contact with my teammate Stenhouse. Got the lap cars out in front. Keselowski gets slowed down just a little bit. Gonna dive it up the inside. Gonna be 3 wide. Gonna be Keselowski and a Roush sandwich right there. Not caught. Yeah, lost the run. Got a little bit of a slide going in 3 and 4. And are those 2 cars going to stay on the lead lap in front? I think they will, or at least a lap down. Maintain their position. It's going to be Elliott winning the stage from the Penske cars. 4th for us. So that's going to mean the finish. We're going to essentially we're going to have to make our move early, I think. I think I've just got to try to get to the front and hold the front. Should I stay on the same strategy as Stenhouse? I think I will, because we can split the strategy right down the middle, and that's what I'll do. So gonna go to the back of the back of the queue here. It's actually Ty Dillon who got the free pass, so that's strange. to say the least. So Ty Dillon back on the lead lap. And now we've got 37 official laps remaining in the race. So nice long stage here to end the race as I give Kyle Busch, the early leader, a nice little shot going into turn 1. And we use the bottom of the track. And Stenhouse helped me out, both of us, on fresh tires, full loads of fuel. And theoretically, have a pretty fast race car right now, both of us. Big run down the inside. 3 abreast into turn 3. And there goes Newman, looking for the lead underneath Keselowski. He's got to get around Elliott as well. And here we go. Once again, getting a real big run. Probably not going to see 210 on this part of the track, as I mentioned earlier. But you just never know. 36 laps to go here at Talladega, and I slid the car going into turn 1. We're getting a nice run on Logano out of 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, another nice run. Here comes Larson up and really side by side with me, but he's got nowhere to go because of Logano on the outside. Another huge run through 3 and 4. And use the draft off of Elliott. Try to suck up into the pack. Looks like car in the pits. Looked like it was Eric Almirola, so Almirola out of the race with some sort of mechanical issue. And into the lead goes Numa. So once again, it's going to be Ryan Newman that's going to be the main principal competition for the win. But what we've got in hand here is fuel mileage. The only guy we've really got to be racing, I guess, right now is Stenhouse. And of course, he's the guy flying up in the rearview mirror. Really not getting a good run right now. It's kind of interesting. Maybe it has to do with the heavy fuel tanks and whatnot. Right now, it just feels like the car isn't quite sucking up the way it used to be throughout the event. Crossing the line with 34 laps to go. Oh boy, and the recording is already at 46 minutes. Of course, I recorded probably about 5 minutes extra stuff, just kind of going through menus and whatnot. But still, that's 40 minutes already. That's a pretty big video. So get a nice run on Keselowski. Down into turn 3. Looking to the inside, can't quite get him. Got Numa out in front. Keselowski looking to the inside. Can't quite get it done. Elliott still on the out. Whoa! Hey! That was not nice. I did not appreciate that chase. That was a block and a half. And I did not have room for a block. So let's see if I can even get to the front with the car in the current state. And I'm going to try to hold the lead for as many laps as I can. So we'll try to get a gauge on this for the end of the race. So essentially what I need to do is root Keselowski out of there. Maybe split these guys up. That might be the way to do it. Oh, they're both coming into the pits. Made a little bit of contact. Here comes Chase Elliott. Coming up behind. Oh, well, that's one way to take the lead, is to get it with the leaders coming into the pits. So that's how that's going to go. Oh, look at that block on Chase Elliott. Here comes David Reagan and Joey Logano to the outside. Reagan, that's for the lead lap. That is not for position as of yet, but could very well be coming the end of the race. As now here comes the Angry Horde, catching me not only because I had a huge run past them because of cars coming out of the pits, but also because I got held up, ran into, lost some momentum. And Harvick's trying to get on the lead lap as well as David Reagan. And I suspect there's going to be more cars peeling off into the pits on this lap. Oh boy, wow, that was close. Back into the lead I go. Big slowdown behind. Gaughan, I think, got held out, boxed out. He wasn't able to come into the pits, but Kyle Busch going to get a huge run behind me with 31 laps to go. I just managed to block him. Just managed to block him. And there's Ryan Newman, one of the principal competitors towards the end of the race, but right now, he's in my rear view mirror. Here comes Kyle Busch down to the inside. Haley Deegan as well, but Deegan is not on the lead lap. But she's still running up front now, but Kyle Busch in trouble. Kyle Busch runs out of fuel. So he stretched it too far. He's in trouble. Here comes Jamie McFlurry behind. Is he going to be able to make it around to the pit lane? No, he's not. He runs out. He slows down. But the problem is I'm all by myself now. So not really the most productive thing to be running around on a plate track by yourself. That could, if it goes green, cause a little bit of havoc. Stenhouse is 2.1 seconds behind. As thankfully I come out in the middle of traffic, so hopefully we can catch up to some cars going race pace. And here comes Bowman all the way up behind me, so he had a huge run. He had a pusher from behind. There's kind of cars tandeming a little bit there. Kind of interesting. Chase Elliott down to 12th. And he picks up to 200 miles an hour almost immediately. So we've got some Hendrick machinery as well as Newman. So it was Newman giving Bowman the shove. And in fact, Elliott, look at him pull away in the traffic. We got a car running low. Got like 3 cars wide out in front. And everybody pulling out of the pits here. Lots of the leaders. Whoa, 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 whoa. That was close. That was almost a wreck. With Chase Elliott getting almost run into right there. Man, oh man. Coming out of the pits. That was almost LePaging right there. Very, very close to having a pile up right there. And that would not have been good for... I guess it would have been good for me, good for business, I guess, to use a phrase. And this is Bowman essentially unlapping himself again. He's 2 laps down at the moment, but this would be him getting 1 lap back. And once I came into the pits, he would be, I believe, back on the lead lap. I think that's how that would work. And here comes Brendan Gaughan trying to get the same favor. In fact, these 2 guys are all actually on an alternate strategy. These are the 2 that we almost came up in laps, so no, that is actually unlapping himself for realsies, to say that. And Brendan Gaughan actually getting one of his, I guess he was 2 laps down, because he's in 21st, but Bowman, man, that's a pretty impressive performance to just unlap yourself on merit and on strategy. I guess strategy is merit as well, rather than using the lucky dog, so despite him getting a lucky dog earlier in the race. Here comes Kyle Busch as well to unlap himself. I think a lot of cars starting to unlap themselves from me. So for whatever reason, I just don't have pace right now. Everybody pulling around the outside of me. Still got 10 laps to go on the fuel, though. That's kind of one advantage right now. Larson is actually running second on track. He's essentially side by side with Martin Truex Jr. and Brad Keselowski. They're all running together. Keselowski goes up into 3rd place. And Stenhouse is in this pack. He's 0.3 of a second behind, so really I'm not even... Still not safely the leader. As the pack forms up, Cole Witt in 22nd place. That's Jimmy the Juggernaut. What position is he running in? 23rd maybe? Yeah, 23rd. Got cars moving to the inside. That's going to give Stenhouse the lead. I made a bad choice in traffic. And we'll give Stenhouse the lead in the lap cars. So Stenhouse goes to the front. Still Roush 1-2 right now. It's not the right Roush car leading as far as I'm concerned. 26 laps to go. Fuel mileage at 9 laps. So going to be able to make it to the end relatively easily. And if I take 2 tires, I'll be able to probably get around Stenhouse in the pit sequence. And now getting a nice run as I'm at the back of the pack. And that concerns me because I don't have a car to lead. I've got a car to run, 10th in a pack. I certainly don't have a car that can pass on the outside either. Stenhouse dives to the inside. Now here comes Jimmy the Juggernaut. He couldn't quite get to the inside. Bowman coming into the pits, so Bowman pits from 7th. That's going to be fairly interesting. More traffic coming out of the pits with 25 laps to go. That is Casey Kane, and I wrecked Stenhouse. That was a LePage effect right there. The bottom lane decided to slow up for Kane. And the fact that Stenhouse didn't spin out and crash there is a miracle. But had he done so, I think it would have actually helped our cause a little bit more. Don't know what the pit lane delta... Wow, it brought out the yellow anyway. It brought out the yellow anyway, and that may have screwed me a little bit because 25 laps to go is cutting it close on fuel, to say the least. So we'll see what this is all about. Only 9 cars on the lead lap now. McDowell and Logano and quite a few others lost laps under that. Caution, so 21 laps in the fuel tank, 22 to go. Oh my. That's about as close on fuel as it's going to get. Now, will I get better mileage, be able to work it all the way to the end? If there's a 1 caution, I'm good. But it also, you know, a caution means the field is back together. Oh, there's like a frog in my throat. Been talking for a while. Yeah, that means there's going to be a caution. Or not going to be a caution, but if there is a caution, it means the field's going to be all together once again. Or if it goes green, I may be able to stretch it, may have to get a splash and dash going. I don't know. Regardless, that means this race is going to come down to the very wire. But I guess that's what you showed up to see. Yeah, that's 1 lap difference between the fuel mileage and the laps remaining. It's essentially the length, not quite, but almost the length of stage 1. And we know how stage 1 went. So theoretically there could be a yellow flag in this, certainly wouldn't surprise me. There could also be cars breaking down, as Kyle Busch has actually worked his way all the way back to the front. So that is interesting. Is Kyle going to be able to pull this one off? After losing ground very early on and using the rules to claw his way back up into the field. Still 19 laps on the fuel, and I had to back out of the gas because nobody was a-moving in front of me. And there is Keselowski looking behind. Stenhouse just in front. Keselowski had to block him. Had to block him. Looking to the outside is Larson. 205. 202. Falling down the speed board there. Good thing it's not a 100-lap race. We'd have 25 laps. I guess it would make the fuel better, but that's about it. Lap 75. Hard to believe we've been going this long already. Crossing the line. 19 to go. Fuel. 18. Doesn't seem like the mileage is being affected. Everybody is going to have to come in once again. So if this goes green to the end, then I think it's going to be even more exciting if it goes green to the end. To a certain extent, it won't be a pack race, but it'll be a matter of can the guy who's in second, who at the moment looks like it may be Kyle Busch, chase me down through the traffic and make up enough time in the remaining laps to take the lead and the win. Fascinating race, kind of developing right now. 18 to go. Running behind the teammate Stenhouse. Fall back a little bit because the car got pushed up just a hair. Keselowski looking behind, getting in behind Stenhouse. Keselowski goes to the outside. Can I help my teammate get into the lead without giving up too much ground to guidance counselor Brad? Looks like he's going to the outside. He's pulling around, and Kyle Busch will move down, almost take the inside lane, get a really nice run in behind Kyle Busch. But I can't quite get it going. Almost got down below the yellow line again, which would have been a bad idea. Third position. Stenhouse leading. Stenhouse is able to get in the front. I wasn't. Or I haven't been able to. This whole race. Pretty much. 207, 208, yes baby. Uh-oh, here we go. This may be a lead change right here. Gonna have to take it from my teammate. Side draft, that was an intentional side draft. That wasn't me driving badly. Well, maybe me driving badly, but it was intentional. That was an intentional move to try to side draft Kyle Busch. It didn't quite work, so I'm going to move up, side draft him a little bit more. Wow, that was close. About as close as you could have gotten without hooking him. I may have a run on Stenhouse going down the back straightaway. It's going to depend how this all works out. Side draft Kyle again. Side draft him again. No, that didn't work. I think I helped him out. Oh man, I had to block Suarez there. That was a no contest situation. I had to do that because I would have fallen back too far. So the side draft did not work. Side draft strategy did not work. Kyle Busch back up into the second position. And there's a lap car up there. Can't tell if he's all by himself. But we will be in lap traffic before the end of the race, but I don't know how long the rest of the field has before they have to come into the pits. If there was a lap car up there, that means cars have started to, make their last pit stops. So when are we going to have to come in? That's a question. 14 to go. I mean, when are they going to come in? I know when we have to come in. It's going to be with 2 laps to go at the soonest. And it looks like, I just realized, look how many cars have fallen off the back of the pack. Into the pits goes Kyle Busch. So now it's mano y mano between the 2 Roush cars, Stenhouse and Kenseth. So lots of lap traffic coming out of the pits now. Getting a nice run behind Ricky. Car slow off of turn 2. Going to get pinched to the outside. Boy, I love that. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Trying to get a good run off of the lap car, and it didn't work. Chase Carbra. Ah, that didn't work. Nope, not good. Couple of lap cars. Logano and McDowell holding me up there. Are they going to come in? Yes, they are. Stenhouse is not. So I need McDowell's draft. I need to get some momentum going to get back to Stenhouse, but Stenhouse is working to the outside. Oh, and McDowell is out of fuel. Bad strategy, poor strategy called by him. Come on, hold him up, Carver. Hold him up. I know I've said your name wrong in every video ever, but you need to hold Stenhouse up right now. This is the battle for the win right here, I suspect, because Stenhouse is essentially on my strategy. Gaughan speeding up, so let's try to get our lane going here. Stenhouse is trying to do it all by himself on the outside, and I would say that is a poor strategy choice there. Mr. Stenhouse, oh no, I pushed up. God almighty. That was stupid of me. Bowman moves fast. Now I don't have a car behind me. So that may screw me over. We'll see. No, Stenhouse falls back. Stenhouse slows down. What's he slowing down for? Oh, no, that was close. Oh, that was close. Oh, that was close. Stenhouse goes back in the lead. It's a battle between the 2 Roush cars. Side by side down the back straightaway. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable racing right now. Why did Stenhouse slow down like that? I will never know, but he clears Deegan, and I can't get down below Deegan. Deegan gonna hold on to that position. Track position, obviously, not race position. Bowman is back on the lead lap, but he's gonna have to pit at some point, I would imagine. And I need some more lap car help. Or at least a draft off of Haley Deegan. She might be able to help me out here. Might not be able to. We'll see. 202 miles an hour. Let's maintain the 200 mile an hour average around this place. Just dropping below 199 right there. Or below 200. 203, 204, 205. Can we shove Deegan underneath Stenhouse? No. But I can shove Deegan out of the way. Thanks for respecting the leader, Deegan. Appreciate that. Now I'm behind Stenhouse. Get that run going. Bowman couldn't quite hold up Stenhouse. I'm hoping Stenhouse would try to pass him on the outside, but this time, battle for the lead with 10 laps to go. Inside Stenhouse. Try to get him. Can't get him. How does he have that speed on the outside? I will never know. It's still a Roush battle for the lead here. Stenhouse still holding on. How is he holding on? 205 miles an hour still, and still just can't get it quite there. Shoving Stenhouse into turn 3. Here comes Deegan on the outside with a huge run. Where did that come from? Into the pits goes Stenhouse. Into the pits goes Stenhouse. So, into the lead goes me. With 8 laps on my fuel remaining. As we cross the line, it's going to be 9 laps to go. I'm actually dropping down to 7, so actually I'm getting worse mileage than I originally had, or at least the original estimation was. So yeah, it's going to be a splash and dash, though. Not going to need tires, that is for certain. But is Kyle Busch or Ricky Stenhouse, whoever gets out of the pits first, are they going to have enough time to pull back to me and be able to challenge me for the win? That is a question that I do not have the answer to. It's going to be very interesting to see how this all works out. Into the pits goes Bowman. So Bowman out. And Stenhouse comes out of the pits 36.8 seconds behind. He's actually not in the pack, it looks like. He's falling to 37 seconds. So it's going to be interesting how long until Kyle Busch makes up that 5-second deficit to Stenhouse Jr. Because that's essentially what the gap is going to be between myself and Stenhouse. And right now it looks like it's even down at 37 seconds to 42 seconds. 5-second gap, obviously, between those two cars. So I just don't know. I just don't know how it's going to work out. This is why we run the race, because you just don't know how it's going to go. As we've got Kurt Busch running behind me through the tri-oval. Crossing the line. 7 to go. Fuel. 5 to go. Oh boy. We are going to cut it kind of close here. Over the next couple laps, definitely going to need to come into the pits. Probably within the next 2, I would imagine. So 2 more circuits around Talladega. Deegan's going to go around the outside. Obviously not a factor of where is she in the field, 23rd. So that's probably getting 1 of 2, possibly 3 at this point, laps down. Now that is Chase Elliott, and he is running in the 6th spot. So that's going from 2 to 1 lap down. Still not that important. He's still got quite a few cars ahead of him. 6 to go. Fuel, 4. So probably coming around twice more will be time to pit. They're 4 wide out in front of me. I see down the straightaway there are 4 cars abreast for some reason. I'm not sure why. And then of course there's the question of when I come into the pits, will there be a caution? It always seems like there's a BS yellow toward the end of these races. In real life or in NASCAR heat, especially when someone's leading by this much of the plate track, though it's really not a 38-second lead. Kenny Wallace would be having an aneurysm right now. Oh my God, 38-second lead. That's why the TV ratings are down. Okay, 5 to go. Going to be coming around this time. I'm going to be pulling off into the pits to go splash and dash to the end. Deegan holds on just in front of me. I'm going to give her a little bit of a shove down the back straightaway, get her going here. And then I'm going to be coming off the track and into the pits. The gap to second place, Ricky Stenhouse, is 38.7 seconds. Is the pit lane delta that long? We'll see. More cars peeling off into the pits. I'm coming in. Green flag stop, final one of the race right now. Splash and dash, here we go. Final intentional stop of the day. Hopefully the splash gets it done. Though considering that a full tank of fuel is 21 laps divided by 4, you would imagine it would get me to the end, and indeed it will. So there you go. 4 laps to go. I've got twice the fuel I need. That also accounts for some green-white checkers, were that to happen as well. And the gap is now 20. No, it's 11 seconds. 7 seconds. Oh, no. It does look like it's going to be a battle between myself and Stenhouse. Chase Elliott is third, 16 seconds behind me. Stenhouse cuts the gap, and I shouldn't say cut, he slashed the gap to 2.5 seconds. Stenhouse is coming, and coming quick. It's going to be a battle between the two Roush-Fenway drivers for the win here at Talladega. I could not have scripted this any better. This is how it's going to be. Going to be coming to 3 laps to go this time by 1.5 seconds. He just continues to close in. I have no drafting help. No lap cars are coming out of the pits, at least at the moment in front of me. There are some coming out of the pits, but I'm not going to really be able to benefit from them. Stenhouse into the pits. I believe Stenhouse is coming into the pits because he is now at 8 seconds behind and falling. 8 seconds behind and falling. Now down to the 10 seconds. It's Chase Elliott who's gone up into second. Truex up into third, and unbelievably, at least right now, don't count the chickens right now because there's still 2 laps to go, plenty of time for a yellow to come out. But Matt Kenseth is leading at Talladega. Is he going to be able to pull it off? Got a 9-second lead over Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott is the next car on track, and I don't believe he has to come into the pits, or maybe he possibly will. Larson coming up behind to give me a shove, so at least got some drafting help now. Thank you, Senpai, for that. And now down through the tri-oval. Yeah. What a shock. What a shock. You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. So 7. Well, it's going to be 8 cars with Larson on the lead lap. But he's going to be in the back. So 7 cars running up front for the win here at Talladega. That's what you expected. That's what you pay your money for. We're in NASCAR overtime. Here we go. Boogity boogity. Pull them belts tight. Oh boy. Blaney on the outside. Stenhouse behind. So Stenhouse, be a good teammate here. We're going to have to block 3 lanes of traffic with 2 laps to go. Pulling in front of Blaney. Obviously, kind of expected to be up there. Kind of dove underneath the yellow line. Oh God, I am going to get freight trained, I suspect. Unless the top lane doesn't go, which they didn't. So right now I only have to block Stenhouse. I am absolutely mirror driving right now, no doubt about it. Got to hold off all these guys. All these fast forwards. Holding Stenhouse back right now. Send it off into turn 3. Stenhouse still back there. Going to be coming around for the white flag this time around. Big run from Blaney on the outside. Did block it. Another big run. Another big run. Oh no, got turned. Held on to it. Held on to it. Held on to it. But it's way back in the field now. Way back in the field. That is unfortunate. Bad block. Once again. Blows it for me here at Talladega, I suspect, unless I get an absolutely stunning run here down the back straightaway. This could be the 210 right here. Could be on the last lap that I do it. Absolutely huge run, but not anywhere close to even 209, which I had run earlier in the race. So Blaney around the outside. Looks like he is going to take the win at Talladega, so you can book that one, Vince. I think Stenhouse looked to the outside, but he couldn't do anything about it. And where are we going to get Newman? Yes, I am going to get Newman. Oh, trouble! Trouble! Caught. Blaney slowed down. Blaney slowed down right at the end. I think Stenhouse got it. No, it was Chase. It was Chase Elliott. We'll look at the results to confirm it. But I think I think it was Chase Elliott. Let's take a look at that full final lap again. Just moved right in front of Blaney at the wrong time. I knew I had to block him. I thought he was going to be the guy that was going to get the victory. You can see how the field spread out down the tri-oval there, and then I thought, well, there's no way I'm going to get anywhere near the front at this point. I'm 20 cars back and 7th on the track. You can see the gap, though. That was kind of the key right there to getting that run down the backstretch that was so very important. And then we're going to try to see what happens to Ryan Blaney right here, because I'm kind of confused exactly what transpired in that number 12 Menards car to lose the race in that fashion. Just very surprising. You can see the damage to Logano's car. Not really sure where that happened. He may have been involved in the big one. So there's the big run through turn 3, down through out of turn 4, and then I thought, well, I may be able to get Newman by the line, and then it turned into, let's see where the action happens, if we can see it. Obviously, that's a close-up on my car. AI just dropped off the pace, and he screwed Stenhouse over a little bit, and it was Chase Elliott that drove around and got the win. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So here's a look at the full race results. It was Chase Elliott from Ryan Blaney, so Blaney still managed to hang on for second despite the fact that he blew up coming to the line. Amazing what a couple of inches will do. Eric Almirola and Casey Kane did not have very good days. You can see only 8 cars finished on the lead lap. I was able to get 6th. I finally beat Ryan Newman, but it really didn't amount to a whole lot. Lots of cars laps down, including Paul Minardi. Just never had a very good day. Where's Trevor Bayne? I want to see where Trevor Bayne ended up finishing. He's not in the top 20. He's not in the top 30. He is 37th, 2 laps down. In fact, in terms of the cars that actually were able to complete the whole race without issues, and even some that did have issues, Trevor Bayne was second to last, beaten really only by William Byron. Oh dear, that is a problem. And I guess in our fantasy universe, Mr. Matt Kenseth was able to come home 6th. So, thank you guys so much for sitting through another one of these 50% NASCAR Heat 2 races. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button. At least hit the like button for the effort because, man, these are long races. And be sure to subscribe for more racing and motorsport content. Not going to be a lot of NASCAR content coming in the next month with Indy 500 month, but obviously I hope some of these NASCAR videos will cure your hunger for NASCAR in the month of May. So thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Dave Land on YouTube, and we'll see you in the next video.